You still got the dog music on?
Thank you very much, Chanda.
G'day, I'm from Definitely Not the Real Australian Electoral Commission. Are you one of the millions of Australians who still don't get how our voting system works? Of course you are. So let's go through this one more bloody time before Election Day. Australia uses a preferential voting system, and it's fucking awesome. These poor bastards wish they had it, so the least you can do is know how to use it. Just number the candidates in your order of preference. Your 1 is your favourite, your 2 is your second fave, your 3 is your, well, I guess they're better than syphilis, and so on down to your last choice. Why are there 2 ballot papers? Because we love paperwork. No, you pelican. It's because we have 2 Houses of Parliament. The green one's for the House of Reps, where government is formed. You must number every box. And this huge one's for the Senate. Here you can vote either above the line for parties or below the line for candidates. The more boxes you number, the more effective your vote will be. What's that? Can I waste my vote? No, because if your first choice doesn't win, your second choice is counted, and so on. Which is why in Australia, it's impossible to waste your vote, unless you draw a dick on your ballot. Am I helping the shit party to win if I vote 1 for a minor party or independent? No, this isn't Canada or America with their primitive first-past-the-post garbage. Because look, if your first choice doesn't get enough votes to win, your vote transfers at full value to your second choice, then your third, and so on. It doesn't weaken, it doesn't get diluted, it just moves. So you can vote for whoever you like and still keep out the party that sucks by putting them last. But the nice person outside the polling booth gave me this how to vote card. Those are just suggestions from political parties. You can follow them if you trust that party, or you can just ignore them and use your own brain. But how to vote cards do help to tell you the kind of values a party stands for. So for example, when these guys suggest you put a 2 next to these fuckburgers, it confirms that they really are the shit party. Even Scotty from marketing didn't do that, which tells you this guy is even shitter than him. Okay, but I really want Labor Daddy in government, so shouldn't I put them first? Sure, if you feel the party that approved 10 coal mine extensions in a climate crisis, kept job seeker below poverty levels in a cost of living crisis, and wants house prices to keep rising in a housing crisis, deserves your vote, put them first. Just make sure to put the shit party last. That way, if Labor doesn't win your seat, your second preference will get your vote instead of the shit party. But if you think a minor party or community independent is the not shit choice, put them first. It'll help fund the peeps you actually like, send a signal to the major parties that you're sick of their shit, and if your not shit candidates don't win, your vote will go to Labor anyway, as long as you put the shit party last. So remember, number every box in your order of preference, not what some party says, not what this sentient ham texts you. And if you're worried about the shit party getting in, just put them last. It'll still get the job done. How good is preferential voting? Now piss off and vote. This has been a message from Definitely Not the Real Australian Electoral Commission. Please don't prosecute us.
To me, and then I saw Pink, the Border Collie, handled by Jennifer Crank from Pickerington, Ohio.
Pink wants to get the party started tonight.
That is it.
Not here. Get it. Tom, sit. Stay. Stay. Okay. Get it.
Jennifer making sure Pink's in that contact zone. Jennifer's up ahead right there. Look at Pink's fly.
You can't stay ahead of Pink for too long.
Stay. Good job. Look at the extension Pink is doing on these jumps. Just beautiful. Nice extension all the way around.
Pink's ahead of the pace. Through the weak holes.
Just stay smooth and clean.
Phenomenal job. And
There
Pink
it
will
is.
win it. By 2 seconds.
That was just sheer beauty. Beautiful lines. Jennifer out in front. Pink following. Pink saying, I got it.
Jimmy on a beat, boy.
Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Yeah, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. BOOMER. Please, your dusty mood don't vibe with me. You are old and so therefore I must say 10 for dinosaur. Hey. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okie dokie, boomer.
Oh my gosh, we're here. What's going on? Hi,
I
everybody.
had to test out the super chats to see if they were working. Jack says they're not processing, but I got it to go through. So I don't know, Jax, maybe just lagging the internet, but I got it to go through. Hey, chat, what's up? Happy
It's
Saturday.
the thought that counts, Jax. It's the thought
It
that
is.
counts. Thank you
Just
so much.
thought.
And yes,
Did you throw
yes,
a wrench?
yes, I did. Yes, I
Good
did.
job. Good job.
I threw a wrench. I got to say, yes, we do, Kate. We have one of the best communities around as
We
far as I'm
do.
concerned. Just fantastic people. And just wonderful to be here with you guys on Saturday night. And Oz is growing his hair for a piece.
I know, right?
Yeah.
What the
yeah,
hell?
That's yeah. We were talking about that in the green room. Shanda really appreciates my angst for hair now that she's had to shave all of hers off.
Well, now I have an angst for hair, so I've joined you.
Yeah, no, I get it. Absolutely, I get it. Let's start calling out the chat. We have a giant show tonight. And let me see. We got Jelly Love, Pam Schwari, Kate. We have Cold Fusion Gaming. Who is that, man?
Who's that guy?
Who is that guy? And let me see. Who else do we have here? We have, I'm just trying to stay ahead of everything. Natalie Williams. Good to see you, Natalie. Stick around, Natalie. We got something for you special. Popeye the Sailor. Schlotsky is in the house. Good to see you. Schlotsky Mastermind Hour. Always good to see you. And there's Kate again. Jilly again. Boy, you guys are chatting it up tonight. Keep it up. We love a good chat. Snorky. What's going on, Snorky? And let me see.
I got my peppers in the ground, Snork.
Jax is in the house. What's going on, Jax? I haven't seen too much food porn from you this week, Jax. I expect more.
I did.
I can't eat it anymore, but I sure enjoyed looking at it. That's for sure. Let's see. Chili Love is in the house. What do we got?
Steve Wolfbrandt.
Steve Wolfbrandt. Good to see you, Steve.
There's Jack H.
Anthony, what's going on, Anthony?
And we've got Vic. Vic is in the house. What's going on, Vicky? Good to see you. Katrina Byerly. What's going on with all the hearts?
That's my Aunt Trina. Hi, Aunt Trina. I'm doing good. I had a scare this week, but we're good.
Yeah, you're going to talk about that in a little bit.
I am. Hey, Global. Global's hanging out.
Global, what is going on? Fred Edward, our network master. Thank you, Fred, for all your work, sharing us around every single week. along with INN India and Reef over.
I see
Indian
Reef.
Community.
Reef is hanging out. Yeah,
What's
Reef
going
after
on, Reef? I saw India in here. Riley Martin, Golden Monarch. We got there's Steve Wolfbrand, Mouse FF. Good to see you, Mouse. Let me see. Crone of Heresy. Good to see you, Crone. And let me see. Yeah, you got Jackal and Jack. Good to see you. I like that name. Riley Martin. Good. Always a pleasure to see you. There's Indy. There's Indy. Let me see. Robbie Burns, I threw you a wrench. Have you tried it out yet? And
Robbie came over from the trailer park.
All right, Robbie. Trailer Park is running tonight, is it not, Chanda? You have it up?
Yep, trailer park's up and running, and so is the Rumble. The Rumble's cooking.
Global. What's going on, Global? And let me see if I got did I get everybody over here on the tubes? I think Lady Alex is in the house. Howdy, comrades. Howdy, Lady Alex. How are you? Always a pleasure to see you, Lady Alex. And let me see. Crone of Heresy. Let me see. Who else do I have? Gosh, I think I got everybody if I didn't miss somebody. Shout out the mods. Yeah.
Thank you, Global. Yeah, shout out the mods.
Yeah,
Everybody's a mod here.
We love our mods. We love our mods. Shanda likes throwing wrenches, and she can't throw wrenches this week, so it's up to me. So if I miss
I'm not
one,
logged
don't
in
blame
since my big crash last week, so Oz is having to throw wrenches.
Had a heck of a crash. You got somebody to shout out on the other streams there?
Well, Robbie was hanging out over at the trailer park. There's a few people hanging out over there, not chatting, but we've got the Rumble up, and Spirit of the Age is hanging out there with Ghost Art, Law 66, and Corky 82, and Arrowways. Hello, Rumblers. Good to see ya. And of course, we're up on X. You can always find us on X. We got 6 viewers over there right now. So
wow, 6.
Hey,
That's got to be a record.
Yeah,
that's
got to be a no. We get pretty good numbers over on. By the end of the show, we'll have close to 100 on the X. For sure.
Really. See,
hey, Mastermind, what's up?
I'm like the robot from Lost in Space. Danger. I got so much shit going on. I'm afraid something's going to break.
Don't knock anything off the desk. Last week you knocked your audio down.
Yeah, I
you
knocked
got so excited.
I've got my rack with my servers on it, and then the thing went off the edge of the desk, and it messed us up pretty good. My brain farts when I lose shit, so...
I know. You start spinning. A-Rim's hanging out over at the trailer park.
A-Rim, what's going on, A-Rim? I hope you had a good week, A-Rim. Good to see you.
No doubt.
Anybody else?
I had a good week. I got to tell you guys, I had an excellent week. So when I saw you last week, I was very scared. I had a PET scan done, as you know, and it didn't come back very good. I had it pop for potential cancer in both my legs, in my intestines, in my stomach, in my thyroid. I was freaked out. So immediately Monday morning, I emailed my doctor, and he got on the ball. He got me a bone scan stat. I had it done yesterday. I got the results back last night. It is not cancer in my legs. It's just really bad arthritis from what I can see now. I haven't talked to the doctor. I don't see him till Wednesday, but from what I can see of the scan, it's just really bad arthritis. And I'm thinking that's probably from the immunotherapy and the chemo. So yay, I get to be well over summer, and I'm super excited for it. So great news. And I didn't want to freak everybody out, so I don't tell everybody, I wait till I have answers before I start telling people,
I was twisted up in knots all week. I was sick all week just worrying about you. So.
Well, my legs have really been bugging me, but it's spring. I've been out doing a lot of gardening. Haven't you guys? You getting those gardens in? Oh my gosh. I was just telling Oz all the crazy tomatoes I've got, and zucchinis and squashes and lettuce and kales. And I'm going for it this year.
Yeah, no, that's good. And we've been working on our garden too. And I've been doing some repair. I built Joey the garden cart, which I
love it. I want you to build me one.
Yeah, no, I like building recycled stuff. It's, it's good for the carbon.
Yeah, I'll take arthritis, right? That's what I said. I'll take it. I'll take the arthritis.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's absolutely.
Heck yeah.
I'm all for the arthritis. We've got fair use up there, as we always do.
Hey, Wesley. Good to see you. Fair use.
And we've got our show includes satire, unless we really mean it. And there's a lot of times.
Unless we really mean it. We'll let you know if we mean it. And shout out to all of our Patreons. It's that time of the month where you guys help pay some of the bills, like our YouTube Premium. We would not be able to do this show without YouTube Premium. As much as it sucks that we have to pay for YouTube Premium, you guys would have to watch ads every show. So thank you guys so much for helping out with that.
Yeah, that's huge, and I appreciate it so much. I love the YouTube Premium, and there's not much I love about YouTube, but that's the
I
only
know,
thing
right?
think.
Right. I've got
That's okay.
everybody on my account. Like, hey, I've got an extra slot on my YouTube Premium. Why don't you come
Yeah,
over?
if you got some change laying around in the dog bowl or something, or in the ashtray, or wherever you want to keep it, there
Dog bowl.
are links. You can just scan them and send them right to us. 25 cents is great, 50 cents is better, but we'll take anything. And if you don't have it, don't send it. Please don't send it, because it's...
Times are getting tougher and tougher, and we're going to talk about it, man. We got a lot on the deck to talk about when it comes to fucking what's coming. What's coming? It's scary. It's scary. Our ports ain't got nothing in them.
Yeah, no, it's really scary. It is. I just had Jack's Page dropped a $5 on me over there. Thank you so much on the
so
coffee,
sweet of
Jack's.
Jack.
Really appreciate that. It's, yeah, you know, you guys are so thoughtful, and you know what? I just can't tell you. And that's going to bring us to our next. We have a special.
Well, I got to say, I got to say a special thank you to you and Joey. I got a big package of Joey's special coffee in the mail today for my birthday. Super freaking excited. You guys know Joey's coffee is the best, and immediately brewed me a little craft of it.
We certainly
Thank you.
we wanted to recognize you, and on Mother's Day too. So you know that's the thing.
Yeah, the Mother's Day blend.
Yeah,
Get you some.
I wanna shout out everybody that's been giving on coffee and other things. And if I miss anybody, Chanda, please chime in. But I want to shout
smack you
out,
over the head.
you know, for the list of people
Pee-pee.
over on coffee: Anthony, Snorky, Crone of Anarchy, Kamshwari, Kate, Old Man Barker, and Kate again, Snorky again. I got to tell you, I appreciate it. The Crazy Puppet, a couple months ago, just huge, kept us.
Crazy Puppet's such an amazing supporter.
Yeah.
Crazy Puppet's not here for every show, but when Crazy Puppet shows up, it rains on us, and we just appreciate that.
And a
so.
special shout out to Arim once again. Arim Shy doesn't want to me blabber.
Yeah,
about
Arim
how-
doesn't ever want any recognition for what Arim does behind the scenes for us. But
But
Arim's
not
been
only
an
has
amazing supporter.
Arim become a close friend and a great supporter, he's just a great guy all around with
He
a heart
is.
heart of gold, big heart of gold. We so
Hey,
appreciate
salties.
it. And you know, if
Okay.
we got to get this in here. We have to, because this is special. And I'm
It
going
is special. Let's do
I'm
it.
going to preface this by saying we've got more coming down the line. We're going to be doing associate producer cards for the next 3 shows for sure, probably.
Yeah.
At least the
3
next
for
3
sure.
shows,
Yeah.
because we've got new ones. But tonight, and we need like a drum roll or something. But we have a very special,
I'm going to get my sound effects program now that I got my thing fixed.
very, very special one tonight. Natalie Williams, you have been wonderful supportive of Chanda and myself through all of our problems and cancer especially. I don't know, when I do these, I look at profiles and Facebooks and things. But you've got a heart of gold also, Natalie, and you're so thoughtful. You are now among the associate producers of Beauty and the Boomer, After Dark, and Trailer Park Pundit. And we have to humbly, with all humbleness, say this. And I picked this out because I got this, you had this a few years back. Expose yourself to your deepest fear. After that, fear has no power. And the fear of freedom shrinks and vanishes. You are free. And that was by Jim Morrison of the Doors back in the day.
Aw.
And this lithograph, this lithograph just screamed to me. I love this. And it's called Beautiful Dreamer. And the lithograph is by Michael Papé. Is it Pop? But
Papé.
yeah. And Papé. But I hope you like it. But if you don't like it, send me a message and I will change it, and you can give me any pictures or ideas.
Yeah, you guys
want.
can always.
We can
tell
always
us what
change
you
them.
want.
But you are on our associate producer run now, Natalie. And yes, it does look like you're Leo. And I saw pictures of your Leo. And I know you just lost another family member recently. And,
Bo.
Bo, and it's always tough. Like I said, I'm waiting for Dharma because she's getting close, but she's been special, so special. So Natalie, you're in the run. You're in great company, and there's more to come from.
There's more to come, so
more to
tune
come.
in every week. Maybe you're next.
Yeah, you.
I got a list, and I'm checking it twice.
You're Mrs. Claus, right?
I know. We're just gonna have the whole community in there eventually. We're just gonna do a whole run.
Well,
Do the whole chat.
Natalie says she loves it. So no, that's thank you, Natalie. Like I said, if you want us to change it, we will. We are very open to do that. And she gave us a big kiss too. Thank you so much for that big kiss. And moving right along, guess what month it is?
Started.
Guess what month it is? It is Mental Awareness Month. Is John Fetterman in earshot? John Fetterman, are you in the house?
We got that. It's coming up.
John Fetterman, are you in the house? Anyway. Just so
does that mean I
aware.
get to be mental all month? Is that why I'm mental every May? I always just thought it was because
I'm making light of this, but this is a serious thing because there is so much mental health problems in this country due to A, B, C, D, E, all the way through Z. It's just everything is, with all the hate.
So don't be afraid to ask for help. If you need help, go seek it. It's not like, 30, 40 years ago where you were stigmatized for going and seeking help. Every day nowadays, everybody's got a therapist on speed dial, So if you need to go get you some meds, as much as we talk shit about pharmaceuticals, I'm on an antidepressant and I'm kind of glad I am now. So,
I get it. And there are so many.
Hey, Kelly.
That's one of the things I love about, hey, Kelly Lane, good to see you. One of the things I love about YouTube, another thing I should say, God, social media.
Yeah, quit licking YouTube's butt tonight.
I'm doing I'm getting a hairy tongue here.
Yeah, you are.
But there are so many healthy ways to combat mental health too. And I'm learning all about it through my traveling with cancer. About how diet is so crucial. Good diet, especially after 60.
And sleep.
Yeah, sleep is
friendship.
Right. Friendship.
If you're lonely, come hang out with this amazing chat.
Yeah.
Hey, Brom. Haven't seen you in a while. How's it going, Brom?
What's going on, Brom? Just reach out to friends and family. We're always here. So, again, mental health awareness. And it isn't funny. Just be aware. Well, John Fetterman, God, he needs some help.
We're going to talk about Fetterman. He's in the deck. So let's get this show started. But we have breaking news. Everybody talking about the rare phenomenon behind the huge outages in Portugal and Spain this week. What do you think, Oz, about the power outages that hit the major cities? Are you buying the bullshit excuse they gave us?
No, I'm not. I defer to Snorky. He sent us a nice email about this too.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm not buying it. I just don't buy it. I think
it was a trial run to see what happens when major cities go down. Conspiracy theory.
Considering what they've done to us over the past several decades with everything.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not buying it. I just can't believe it. I have a little bit of knowledge as far as that goes, and it's just like, really, a sunspot? I don't think so.
I mean, we are having major sunspots. I mean, that's a given. We are at a solar max right now. We've been talking about it for a long time, but I don't know. Makes you go, I don't know.
Things that make me go, So that's it. And
so we'll just keep an eye on it and see if a couple more cities go down. But
well,
let's talk some shit about the Democrats.
Yeah, well, you keep bringing Bernie Sanders, Chanda. I'm going to get you in a timeout.
Hey, it's not my fault. The Democratic Party has nobody else to lean on when they need to ask for a buck, so they send this guy out there. And why the hell is my email full of frickin' Democrats begging for money? I never gave any of these establishment Dems my email address. How the hell did they get it, Bernie?
Yeah, Bernie. Jesus. Oh, God, I'm sick of this guy. Is he mumbling?
Kind of quiet.
You know what we're talking about?
Yeah, he's mumbling too.
Very careful.
Oh, Bernie. We're talking about that too. What the hell ever? Shut up.
You're the backbone of the growth of
Yes, it is.
I don't want to have God to deal with patients who cannot afford the treatment that they need. It is insane that people can't afford to walk into the doctor. You deal with that every day. Where are you guys from? Around the country?
I want to do that.
Whatever. That was
So
state.
this was in Washington State when they were up here hyping and asking for money. Now these were all nurses and healthcare professionals, and he says now's the time to fight for Medicare for all. And I about spit my coffee out the other morning because I was like, where the fuck were you, Bernie, when we took to the streets from coast to push to force the fucking vote when you guys had the majority to do it? When you could have forced the Democrats' hands to get it on the fucking floor. But no, remember, he ignored us. He refused to even acknowledge that there was hundreds of rallies across the country with people turning out. He was nowhere to be found. So
spooning with Cenk Uyghur while force of vote was going on. That was what he was doing.
Totally.
God, you brought
Shut up,
another
Bernie.
one? Yeah, he's loving being on Meet the Press. This is from Case Studies
Oh, I
TV.
know. They don't want anything to do with him normally.
Oh, my God.
Let's talk about what you have called your oligarchy tour. You and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez have been crisscrossing the country, warning of an emerging oligarchy.
This really
Senator,
3
you
minutes?
told the New York Times, I'm going to read this quote, one of the aspects of this tour is to try to rally people
but you
to
can
get
cut it
engaged
wherever.
in the political process and run as independents outside of the Democratic Party. As someone who twice ran in the Democratic presidential primary, are you trying to strengthen the Democratic Party? Or, Senator, are you trying to start a third party?
No, we're not trying to start a third party. What we're trying to do
Not
is
trying to start a
strengthen
third party.
American democracy, where faith in both the Democratic and Republican parties right now is extremely low. We are living, Kristen, in the richest country in the history of the world.
Now he goes back
and
into
yet
his
you got
normal
one person, Mr. Musk,
contrived.
who owns more wealth than the bottom 53%.
Now you can kill it. You got the important part where he says, "I'm not trying to start a third party." Yeah, Bernie, we fucking know. I flew to Chicago and we screamed in your fucking face, "We have a third party built for you," and you gave us the fucking finger.
That's his stump speech from 2016. It's
Exactly.
funny.
That's what
he
he
doesn't
always
have to
falls back
learn
on.
any new lines. He keeps using the same old fucking lines.
Same bullshit.
And what is this Booker on the White House steps?
Oh my God, look at how relatable he is. He's sitting on the steps like common folk.
And I want you all to know I miss Obama.
Oh
He
my
misses Obama.
Whatever. Says dollar store Obama.
I miss Obama, and I miss her husband too.
He misses her husband. Did he just call Michelle Obama a man?
So this was my second favorite Obama on the phone. It was President Barack Obama. And he was in the Oval Office, and it was a beautiful call.
That
I
guy's
think he
got.
just called Michelle Obama a man.
He's got brain damage. I swear to God, there's something wrong.
I seriously thought he was I thought he was going to be the first a black president. I really did. In 2004, it was called The Hype. They followed him around when he did that stunt when he moved into the projects and he lived on food stamps. Do you remember this shit? I mean, he was supposed to be true grassroots. Look at him now, just a big apex sellout.
Chris Alger, have a great show. I have to watch you on the replay. Busy right now. Love you all. It's Saturday night. I'm glad you're busy and you've got life, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is our Saturday night where everybody gets to take a breath if they're not doing something fun and important to them. So please join us. What is this guy? What's this all about?
John Leguizamo, famous actor.
Oh God, I didn't recognize him with the gray hair.
Okay, yeah, he's taking a lot of crap for being old in this video, but check out his list of what we need to do for the Democrats.
6, create a digital safe haven for whistleblowers and defectors. Not everyone inside this regime is loyal. Some are scared, some want out. Build the channels. Encrypt it. anonymous, protected. Make it easy for the cracks in the system to become gaping holes. And while you're at it, stop ostracizing MAGA defectors. Everyone makes mistakes, even glaring critical ones. We are not the bullies. We are not the ones filled with hate, and it's not your job to shame people who finally saw the fire and chose to step out of it. They will have to deal with that internal struggle, the guilt of putting a very dangerous and callous regime in power. But they're already outnumbered. Don't push them back into the crowd. We don't need purity. We need numbers. We need people willing to burn their red hats and testify against the machine they helped build.
What the hell is he talking about?
Those are his suggestions for the big tent, to get people back under the big tent. Because, you know, they've lost so many people with their lack of freaking doing anything for the working class that, you know, stop being mean to the MAGAs.
Well, yeah, this is what he's fighting for right here, right? This is what he's defending. Is this he put this in here? What the hell?
So Obama promised to codify women's reproductive freedoms as one of the first things he planned to do in office. He had a supermajority in Congress, meaning that there was no way Republicans could block him. And remember, he said, "Now's not the time." Those were his exact words.
Yeah.
Now is not the time. And congressional Democrats hold an all-night meeting to come to a consensus on how to best hide under their desks. Yeah, because that's what they do best.
That's unredacted tonight. That's not a real headline, right?
No, it's not.
Okay, and what do we got here? What's Michelle talking about?
Oh my gosh, this was a terrible podcast all the way around. She whined about how they had to pay for food when they were in the White House.
Wait
a
minute.
She cried about being an empty nester. Yeah.
What? Oh, God.
Yeah. But in this clip, I think she's calling herself a man.
Bit about, you know, just so proud of how you are being a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's, you know, that warms my heart, particularly as a Black man. You know, would you care to share that journey of?
Well, I learned.
She was referring to him.
Was she referring to him? I went back and I rewatched that clip like 3 or 4 freaking times, and you can almost see her eyes like panic, like, oh shit, I just said that. And maybe she did mean that, but still, she knew it was going to get taken out of context, right?
Yeah, I know. That was not the way to parse it with him, I gotta say. Yeah, that was not the way. You put this in the deck. I just added a little bit of extra here on the bottom.
There is no higher treason than rigging an election. You think with all that money that she has managed to frickin' pocket and still, you know, from rigging elections in Broward County, she could get those snaggle teeth fixed, but
I think this is the heights of treason because you're interfering with a presidential election. And I want to point out this segment, this poster board was sponsored by Geico.
What'd you say?
That's all she gets from me. I am not. Debbie Wasserman Schultz should be in prison right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, for what she did to Tim Canova? Hell yeah.
For
Hell
that,
yeah. We know
rigging
about the ballot box stuffing during that election.
She should be in prison for 20 years at
Just
least.
for that election alone. That doesn't even talk about what she did to the national primary in 2016. I'm just talking elections in Broward County.
Well, yeah, and she's propagandizing every damn subcommittee meeting she's in. She's lying through her teeth in these things. She's a disgrace.
Oh, she always does. Hey, I'm not saying Tim Canova is the be-all, know-all, because he went a little establishment there towards the end of me following him.
It seems like a lot of them do that, isn't it? So you brought an MSNBS clip. What the hell's going on?
This is your MSNB bullshit for the night. And, of course, they had Democrat Jasmine Crockett, full of Crockett.
Okay, let's hear it.
The elite or leadership wing of your party in Washington get it yet?
Listen, I got to say thank you to the people, right? Because this is a grassroots movement and the people are saying we are tired. And, you know, whether or not we get it, I think that our solutions look a little different, right? Like there are those within the party that are saying things like, well, we did not give them the middle class agenda. We somehow left the middle class. But I'm like, we never left the middle class, right? We know that this administration, the previous administration, was trying to help out those that were struggling under the weight of student loan debt and saying if we can help them out, then this means that they can go and create generational wealth and go buy homes.
They just didn't know
like they had real solutions. The child tax credit, where you were getting up to $300 per child.
$300
because child care is high, and all those things. When we look at some of the legislation that was thousands of pages long, such as the Chips and Science Act, states like Ohio were able to get a chips manufacturing facility that Samsung was bringing in, which meant jobs, which meant manufacturing, and so many other states were able to benefit. But did we communicate it?
Yeah.
Not really. Did people really understand what was happening? Not per se, right? And so, you know, everybody has different solutions. So some people want to dig in and say, let's get to the policy, right? But what good is policy if the people don't understand or know that that is what you are going to ask for? When it comes down to it, we are such a big tent party that we have certain people that say, well, never mind, I'm not going to push hard for those reforms, say by the time we get to the Senate and we have to deal with the filibuster.
Oh my God, there were so many things wrong with what she said. $300 for the child tax credit, $300 fucking dollars. What does that buy in this economy? I mean, that's crazy on itself. And then to say, well, we did really good with the CHIPS Act. We all know the bullshit that was snuck in with that CHIPS Act. I mean, there was a lot of nasty shit buried in that bill. And then to say, well, it's just a lack of communication. We didn't tell the middle class what we did for them. They didn't know.
Well, on that note, being that this is a slide, there's some news out there running around that Rachel Maddow may be heading on out the door to go spend her money. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. I don't think with the ratings that wherever they're spinning it off to the dump or wherever, that warrants her
salary. House.
Yeah, her salary of $25 million a year. So something's going to be happening with her soon. I got a kick out of this. I added this morning. This is this plus
I haven't
one
seen
slide.
this.
Jen Psaki on Press Secretary Leavitt projecting the views of Donald Trump. I thought this was the most hypocritical video I've seen in a long time, but check this out. Tell me what you think, Chanda.
If the totality of it was that and just speaking what was on the mind of your boss, then yeah, she should get good marks for that. That's not the totality of the job.
What's the other part?
The other part of the job is speaking honestly and candidly about the issues that are happening in the country and providing actual useful information to people. And what she's doing is she is just projecting the view of Donald Trump. That's part of it. It's not the only part. And I also think that
what she did for Poopy Pants McGee.
She's a person who goes out there on a regular basis and projects propaganda points. Right? I would consider propaganda points. I know the right wing says that about me, but that is just not the same guys.
So what's the difference?
Not the same guys.
The difference is
no, you were a better liar for
things
sure.
Like, no, we didn't illegally deport anyone. You didn't? I mean, the courts just said you did. You know?
The COVID shot is safe and
projecting, you know, oh, Elon Musk is accomplishing his goal. He is? Well, he is.
But wait a second. You had your share of underperforming, whatever normal stuff.
You know what? She might catch up with Leavitt, or Leavitt might catch up with Jen Psaki in about 2 years. Jen Psaki has a laundry list of lies and propaganda that she said during the Biden administration. How long? Did they replace her halfway through? Is that what they did?
They halfway through, and then they got just an even better liar in Cream Pierre or whatever her name was. Yeah,
that was horrible. On to this one.
2 weeks to slow the curve. That's a good one, Mastermind.
This. Tell me about this. I didn't catch this. You caught
this. Is rules for thee, but not for me. This is John Fetterman on a flight, I want to say yesterday, throwing a little bitch fit because he didn't want to wear the extender seatbelt because he's kind of a big boy. And he's arguing with the flight crew because, hey, he's special.
You got to be kidding me. Can we hear it?
Is your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
Okay, it needs to be visible for the crew at all times. That's not an us thing. That's a federal regulation. So it's okay. It's okay.
has to be visible, and right now it's not visible. We have an extender if you'd like that. It'll make it bigger so it can go outside of your sweatshirt. Would that work?
He doesn't want the extender.
Sir, if you want to go to Pittsburgh, it's simple. You have to follow our instructions.
Can I stop?
If you want to go to Pittsburgh, you got to follow our rules.
Like all that we need is to be able to see your seatbelt at all times. Okay, what's
He's like, I have my seatbelt on.
So if I don't make you do it, then I get in trouble, and I don't want to get in trouble because I like my job.
Put on your fucking seatbelt, asshole. That's
Well,
what
he
I
had
tell
it on, but it was tucked under his big sweatshirt that he wears everywhere he goes, right? And so the flight attendant is saying, look, if I can't see it, it's a violation of, federal law. So put the extender on so I can see it. Well, he did not want to do that because, I don't know, it would embarrass him for being a big guy. Is that why he wouldn't do it? What was the problem here?
I don't know what the problem was because I was a big guy and I had to put extenders on my seatbelt. I had no problem. Secure yourself in your seat, dipshit.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean,
Hey, Pittsburgh dude 60, or Pittsburgh dude 87. You want to throw him a wrench? I thought you had a wrench. You've been here lots of times before.
yeah, I think so.
People United. I see you hanging out over at the trailer park along with D Taco Kid from Alamo Town and DeMarcus. Thank you guys for joining us. We got lots of people joining us.
Well, here's another AOC rally. And there was one.
But she gets screamed down.
Yeah, she gets, except it was by one nurse who had the intestinal fortitude to stand up to her bullshit. And what pissed me off about this is all those idiots in the crowd started booing the nurse.
They always
And
do.
They can all get fucked as far as I'm concerned. But here you go.
Working hard to defend
What are you doing about the genocide in Gaza? Listen to that. Listen to that. Listen to that shit.
Let her go.
Look at that shit. That just enrages me.
At least somebody's screaming, let her speak. Everybody pointing at her. It reminds me of 1984.
Jesus Christ.
Doesn't it remind you of 1984?
Yeah.
Let her answer. Shut up. They always got to remove you, right? Bravo to the people that have the courage to go to these things and get thrown out by screaming them down.
And you're right. There were a few people in there saying, let her speak. You know, not only is AOC really good at both siding her bullshit, which there's no both siding this crap. She lied about Biden and Harris's policy on Gaza. They were never working for a ceasefire. They were working tirelessly to cover up genocide. And that's what their party funds. So somebody got a feed, I believe this at the bottom here, of AOC, what she was saying to that person that was basically asking her a legitimate question. But this is how her staffers tell her to quell these people when they say that.
I am happy. Yes, I understand. We will take your I will take your question. I'm happy to take your question. We're happy to take your question. I'm happy to take your question. Okay.
And
then answer it. Quit saying it over and over. Jeez.
Yeah, she's so full of shit. It isn't even funny. Please,
Well,
spare me.
She wants to get reelected, so
Yeah.
of course she's full of shit.
She is totally full of shit. Jax Page hitting it out of the park again over there on
All right,
Twitter.
Jax.
Elizabeth Kim in her tweet said, "Line around the block for AOC's town hall in Jackson Heights. I'm told the auditorium seats 400. There is an overflow space." And thank you, Jax Page, for saying what I was thinking. So what? These people are going to vote Democrat anyway. You're not gaining voters of support. It's just a bunch of shit libs jerking each other off. Well said. Well said. That's exactly what it is, Jax. Exactly what it is. Shit. That's
dead on.
Succinct. Very succinct, Jax. Very well done. All right. What do we got here? It's weird seeing. I'm trying to get it to light up here.
26. There we go.
26. There we go. And you brought this.
It's so weird to the port of Seattle, to see the port of Seattle without any ships. I don't see how we're going to get out of this without a ton of supply shortages. Empty shelves are coming. See, the port of Seattle is the very first port in the United States that most stuff gets shipped into from China. And the port of Tacoma is also dry just like this. I talked to my girlfriend who has a view of the port of Tacoma today. And she said, yeah, there's nothing there. It's shocking. It is shocking. And it's coming. I'd say get your ass to the dollar store now and buy up all those things that you normally buy for cheap from China. Get your ass to Walmart or whatever, because the shelves are going to, like, stuff like tents, camping gear, shit like that. I'm looking to gather it up now. Any major purchase, I would get it out of the way.
Yeah, I have two schools of thought on this. Actually, more than two. But the thing that hits me about this the most is all the transportation that depends on these ports.
All the truckers.
The truckers and the warehousemen and everything else. This is going to it's going to domino affect everybody, and it's just going to fuck them, especially going through the holidays, because right now we're heading into that big shipping season where all the Christmas crap from China
It's starting to show up early.
Starting
Yeah,
to show
shows
up.
What, September, August, September. They get it.
Last month, normally we'd have our trade shows where we'd go and buy all this shit. It would start shipping in May. It would start hitting in June and July, and then in August it'd be heading in the back rooms to the shelves. You know, you see this stuff, and we're always complaining about how, oh God,
like,
you got
oh
Christmas
my God, it's already out. Summer's not even over,
yeah.
and Christmas's stuff's out. Right.
So unless something changes real quick, it's going to screw everybody and put more people out of work. And I'll talk about that a little bit later in the show.
Yeah,
but here's one that Chanda. Now I want to everybody. and Indy's going to cover this tomorrow night about UPS laying off people and you know, closing up.
They closed our shipping store, so we don't
Yeah.
have one within 100 miles from where I'm at.
Yeah, I was friends with my UPS delivery guy back when we just moved here, and he said this was coming a long time ago, like 2-3 years ago. And so this is nothing new, but what we're seeing is they're blaming all this on Trump tariffs, and as a cautionary thing, I'm thinking, well, what else are they blaming? And I'm not defending Trump and his tariffs by any means. But, you know, is this just too convenient for them to blame everything on the current administration or what? When it's these fucking corporations that are downsizing and putting people out of work, and they've been doing it, and they're just having a field day doing it because they're modernizing or whatever. But anyway, here's a clip of script.
Delivery service UPS is reducing its workforce. 20,000 employees across 73 facilities are expected to be laid off. That accounts for 4% of its workforce and is expected to happen in June. That announcement comes at rocky times for UPS, who announced earlier this year that Amazon would be reducing its volume. Amazon is UPS's largest partner, accounting for nearly 12%
That's one of the big reasons is Amazon.
Total revenue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and again, check out INN. How did we miss that tomorrow night? Indy's got a great segment set up for that, from what I understand.
Nice.
And just want to check out, are we coming through okay, guys? I've got a bitrate warning here that it's a little slow. I hope we're not buffering.
We're not buffering. I've got us on the big screen. We're good.
Okay, we're good. So how does this figure in? Now, this is not a video, but you brought this anyway. This is Temu, right?
Yeah, well, there wasn't a video really. But breaking news, Temu just announced that is halting all direct shipping from China due to the ongoing tariffs. Now, some of those of you out there are Temu shoppers, including myself. You know, the nurses at the cancer center got me hooked on Temu over the Christmas season. And I was really pleased with what I got from Temu. Some stuff's a little cheap, but some things are really good price. Like Oz, you shop Temu. And the other day I was thinking about, I think I'm going to put a Temu order in for the summer. And then I was like, oh shit, I wonder with tariffs if it'll even get shipped out. So I didn't do it. And then 2 days later, this popped up. So don't be putting out any Temu or overseas orders. I mean, be very vigilant about the online shopping that you're doing, because a lot of it was being shipped directly from China and you're probably not going to get it. So
yeah,
be vigilant.
The stuff I buy from Temu is not much, but it's stuff that I actually do need.
Right.
The quality sometimes isn't so good, but
the price is worth it.
Yeah, I mean, some drives and some computer accessories here and there, but I don't buy too much.
Hey, I got an awesome pair of suede boots last Christmas from them that I was very impressed with.
Yeah, no, it has its place. Juliet Nickel is in the house. I threw a wrench on behalf of Chanda. Juliet Nickel. You might want to try that wrench out, Juliet, see if it works, and we'll go from there. You've got, what do you got here? What's this?
Well, let's talk about Trump's tense tax cuts for under $20,000 a year. Even Fox News is having to admit things aren't going just as well as they thought they would be.
This is President Trump's job approval rating on taxes. 38% approve, 53% disapprove. This is Fox News polling. 38% on the economy approve, 56% disapprove, 33% on inflation. We know this was hugely election, 59% disapprove. But Scott Bessent had a very important message as the 100-day mark approaches on all of that. Listen from this morning.
We've got a three-legged stool here that is trade, it's tax, it's deregulation. President Trump has come out of the blocks roaring. And I think this is something new for the American people. We're going to continue to make the U.S. the best destination.
Americans don't seem to be approving.
And that something new might be, the short-term pain people are feeling reflected in the polls. But will they hang in there, Robert, to see what is promised as long-term gain?
Yeah, let me be quick here. I mean, one, Steve knows a tariff is a tax on the consumer. Yes, it brings revenues, but it's not a tax cut to the consumer. So that's just not true. And Steve's actually written about that, as has Kevin Hassett. With respect to the three-legged stool, I think with short-term pain, you're seeing it in the polls. People don't know really what's going on. Things are actually, some of the prices are going up, some are going down. This is not actually the immediate, great economy that the president spoke about. Actually, half the economists think we're going into a recession.
I say it's a depression, and I've been saying it's a depression.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
That was just on taxes, Oz. That was just people's disapproval on taxes. But my thought on this is, it took us, 60, 70 fucking years to slide down this hole, and people think we're going to come out of it in a year or two. Just hold tight and weather the storm, and it's going to get better. I don't think so.
I don't either, sadly. What is this? Is this an approval rating here?
This is an approval rating over 100 days. So that was Fox News talking about tax approval ratings. This is CNN talking about 100-day approval ratings.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Who would be doing a better job as president? Guess who comes out on top? Within the margin of error, but comes out on top. This looks a lot like
you
the
can cut it wherever.
Result, right?
I didn't
Trump,
cut it.
45%, 2 points ahead of Harris at 43%. 12% say they'd be doing about the same. But this is the key nugget here. It's not just about regretting that vote. It's literally saying who would be doing the better job right now. And Trump continues to score a higher percentage
this is
of the
CNN.
vote than Kamala Harris. This looks a heck of a lot like the election result we have just.
Harris wouldn't be
CNN is still reporting that Trump would be and is a better president than what Harris would be doing.
Well,
do you agree?
I think those are apples and oranges because
right.
because when you say better president or doing better on the economy, Genocider's a genocider's a genocider.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. And that's, I'm so anti-war and pro-peace that I don't even think about the figures. But the reality is we're all going to be hurting economically. We have been hurting economically for years, especially when that pandemic hit. And we're still feeling the effects of that pandemic, that Fauci-demic.
Oh, yeah.
Fauci-demic. Can we call it Fauci-demic?
We knew we would. We
Yeah.
called it years ago.
Yeah, so again, stock up, not necessarily at Temu, but if there's something you can use. But buy smart, everybody, because that dollar is losing value every day. And
Get your ass to the farmers markets.
Yeah, there's going to be. Do you think
Thrift
there's
shops, garage sales.
Do you think there's going to be runs on product real soon, or what do you think?
I do. I think once Americans start to see that their shelves are getting bare, they're going to be runs. Who knows what items it'll be, but yeah, I do think that there'll be runs.
Well, it just takes some person on social media to say, hey, I went to the store, I couldn't get toilet paper, and then you're going to have everybody lined up around the building with toilet paper.
Exactly.
So I'm concerned about that.
But most of the toilet paper we get here in America is actually made in America. Okay, so this is great. So the press asked Trump on his way out to Air Force One or whatever about being Pope, and he jokingly, and we'll play it, says something about, yeah, I'd like to do that. But Lindsey Graham busts a nut at the idea of Trump becoming Pope and says, I was excited to hear that President Trump is open to the idea of being the next Pope. This would truly be a dark horse candidate. But I would ask the conclave and the Catholic faith to keep an open mind about this possibility. The first Pope U.S. president combination has many upsides. Watching for white smoke, Trump, Mega 50 or 45, whatever, 47. I just thought this was, oh my God, he's lost his fucking mind.
You missed your calling, Chanda. You can do a great Lindsey Graham.
I know, I've got Lindsey Graham down.
An election. As Pope? I'd like to be Pope. That would be my number one choice. I don't know. I have no preference. I must say we have a cardinal that happens to be out of a place called New York who's very good. So we'll see what happens.
A cardinal from New York. I wonder if that cardinal's a Zionist. What do you think?
I'm going to give you one guess.
Yeah, that would be yes. And you brought old Johnny Stewart. Is Jon Stewart recovered from his lack of...
Did I bring this?
Yeah, from his lack of...
Oh, yeah, this is going after Mark Carney. Oh, my God. If anybody thinks that guy is outside the fucking establishment, you need to go check out the Corbett report. Corbett did a 2-hour breakdown of this guy, and it was worth every freaking second of watching it. Like, oh, my God, Canada, you guys are so screwed. I'm so
Before I run this, Australia is still screwed because Albanese won. And in Australia, that election was yesterday, I think. Albanese, or however you pronounce it, won. He's a capitalist prick.
Zionist capitalists all around.
Yeah, so sorry, Australia, but at least they didn't get total shit. They just got shit. So that's ranked choice voting. When you have all the candidates are shitty, Julian Assange... somebody in the Julian Assange thing endorsed Albanese because he supposedly
really
said that he worked harder than any of them to get him out. And I'm still finding that hard to believe, but anyway, Jon Stewart on Mark Carney. Here we go.
It's really difficult for a candidate to come in who is saddled with the policies that are on
Stewart playing stupid.
Oh boy.
Let's say, just throwing out a
look
wild
at you trying to preserve the relationship all of a sudden.
A wild hypothetical. Let's say the candidate wasn't part of the government. Let's say the candidate did have a lot of economic experience. Let's say the candidate did deal with to deal with the challenges in the here and now.
You sneaky, you're running as an outsider.
I am an outsider.
Wow, that's all. So you're going to be coming in there to say, I have not been in the government. I have worked in the financial markets. I understand all the things that go around trade.
Canada just likes screwing themselves, like we do, I guess.
I know, Kate, we're with you. We're so sorry.
Yeah, Kate. So
Poor
sorry,
Kate.
Kate. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was in the Panama Papers. You're damn right he was, Kate. Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't he friends with Ghislaine, or like all of them were? Or no?
Oh, yeah. Same shit, different asshole. Yeah, he's definitely a puppet of the WEF and, Klaus and Soros. And, let's not forget that he headed up, not only was he head of Canadian Bank, then he moved over and was the head of the English Bank, right? The Bank of England. Like,
oh, God.
He's not an outsider. He is not an outsider.
No, he's another corporatist, capitalist piece of shit. So I hear we had a little campfire this week. Did we have a campfire?
Burn, baby, burn. We don't need no water.
Okay, here we go.
This is Jerusalem. Jerusalem's on fire.
Tel Aviv?
Or was?
Or Jerusalem? No?
That was Jerusalem, I want to say.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yep.
So did they get it out?
I don't think so. I think that part of it's still burning, but it was a fast-moving, hot fire. They've got high winds going on, and so they're having windstorms, too.
No, shit. Well, we don't know about that, L.A., do we? Yeah.
Yeah, right. I must have stuck this in the wrong spot. My bad. But Greece and Cyprus declined Israel's request for firefighting amid raging wildfires. Isn't that funny? Because aren't Greece and Cyprus fighting each other for Cyprus?
I think so.
I think so. That's kind of crazy to me. When I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. They both turned them down and they're fighting each other? That's crazy.
Is this more for fire stuff, or is this a sandstorm?
This is a sandstorm. Now, some people said this was Egypt, but I heard that this was South Gaza, actually. So Gaza's getting hit, too.
Wow.
It's almost biblical, huh? Fires, sandstorms.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy. You can kill it whenever, but I just brought it as an example of what the heck's going on.
I lived in Phoenix for about 5-6 years back in the day, and I saw one that it enveloped the whole town. It was so high. It looked like a movie from The Mummy or something.
That's scary. How do you get away from that sand? You're inhaling it into your lungs. It's in your eyes.
You don't. You stay indoors and you just close your windows and you just ride it out.
Yeah, it's like a forest fire, right? We get fires bad. You just have to hide from them.
PSA, remember when corrupt politicians start going to jail, then we can start trusting government again. And I won't even trust them at that point.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to hold my breath till that happens. Get on it, Pam Bondi.
Never gonna happen. Never. Now this actually, and I have some issues with Medea, and I've met Medea, and just remember, Medea is like 4'10", okay? 4'10". She's
well, I brought this
tiny.
because the amount of times that this cop molests her. Like, what the fuck? You already checked her crotch 3 times. You already checked under her boobs 5 times. What the fuck are you doing?
This should embarrass them, but they'll say it's protocol. It's protocol.
No, that's not protocol.
Militarism isn't enough for all the threats we face in the world. You know why we face threats in the world? Because we support genocide. That's why we face threats. And if we stop supporting genocide, if we stopped, then we wouldn't face these threats in the world. So I say...
Okay, so she felt up her boobs, she checked under her bra.
In the hallway. Excuse me, why are you doing this here?
So isn't it ironic that the person who speaks out for peace and international
She has been arrested so many times, she's just like, yeah, whatever. Oh, wait, it gets worse. They keep going for like 2 minutes.
Such a great
she's not...
Probably will be about 100 lawyers signing on to this letter, talking about how the U.S. is violating the State Department's laws and is...
There's 1 time, 2 times she's touched her crotch.
And that's going to the judiciary.
Now she's going to start all over again.
This is how they treat peacemakers. This is how they
back over her boobs.
In the public when you speak out for stopping a genocide. If you are supporting a genocide, you would be in there being lauded for your work. Everything is upside down. Everything is backwards. People who support morality, decency...
3 times. 4 times.
...starvation are treated as if we are terrorists. And I'll be taken to jail right now. And I am being treated... Look at how I'm being treated. I mean, it's disgusting.
Medea, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an embarrassment to the law
That
enforcement.
was not
right
necessary,
there.
especially right in the halls of Congress. Come on.
This is
you
one
could have
of
taken her in a back room. You know they have a bunch of back rooms.
Well, I'm glad they did it in public so it could get
me too.
shown,
But still,
but
just
it just
disgusting.
shows you. This is one of the many things that she's talking about over in Gaza. 18,000 children killed by Israel. None of them had a gun. Most of them were sleeping, and that is true. And I believe that figure is sorely underreported. I think it's much more than that. Much, much more than that, sadly. And Gaza has exposed every racist, every Islamophobe, every narcissist, every fake Christian. Hear that? Every fake Christian, every fake Muslim, and every heartless individual on the face of this evil earth. And I feel that way 100%, Chanda. I can't tell you anymore. And something that, the IDF or Israel learned from Goebbels was accuse the other side of that what you are guilty. And I agree with that.
Oh, they've got that down freaking pat, man. That's all they ever do. And Oz, how many times have you looked in your feed on X this week and seen blown up dead babies? I mean, it's just never fucking ending. It's never ending. Every day I have to, oh my God, I can't see that. Oh my God, I can't look at that. You know?
I've reduced the amount that I retweeted them, but trying to support the people. There's some specific ones that really are showing
they're
some
heinous.
They're
horrific.
They're terrible. What'd you bring Dershowitz for?
Oh, Dershowitz says that there's one reason why we can't have a one-state solution. That's impossible. So check this out.
Oh, brother.
A one-state solution is impossible because who gets the nuclear weapons if you have a one-state solution? Obviously, the Jewish state of Israel, the nation state of the Jewish people, is not going to give its Arab population access to its weapons system that are the only guarantee of Israel's survival.
You shouldn't have nuclear weapons to start with, asshole. You stole them and then you took care of Kennedy because he was pissed.
Exactly. Oh my God. We can't have a one-state solution because who would get the nukes? Shut up, Dershowitz.
Yeah. You brought...
I thought this was interesting. So Sam Husseini, we love Sam Husseini, asked Oliver Stone about when he filmed JFK about executive producer, Aaron Michelin, as an Israeli spy who spent years producing materials and technology on behalf of the very nuclear program that JFK was trying to stop. Listen to what Oliver Stone has to say.
So who knows what's now going to be exposed in this last batch of documents?
There is another aspect
Mark
of
Ruffalo
this.
is looking rough.
Mr. Stone, have talked in recent years about how Kennedy tried to prevent Israel from getting nuclear weapons. Now, the executive producer of JFK, the movie, has said that he was a spy for Israel and that he helped it procure nuclear weapons. When did you know that the executive producer on JFK was an Israeli spy?
After
when?
I made the film.
When?
And he did not interfere in any way on the film. In fact, he was not the primary force. He came in as a partner with Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers was the one who was making the film with me.
Warner Brothers brought in an Israeli spy.
To say what I had to say. So Arnon Milchan came in, frankly, on the back side of the case. Didn't express any opinions, and frankly, I knew he was an Israeli, let's say a big shot in Israel, and he probably had some intelligence ties, but I didn't know specifically what he had done. As to the other, Kennedy did, we have proof that Kennedy was very much against Israel getting the nuclear bomb, and he tried to stop it. Whether that ties in some way with his death, I would not speculate.
But even though you made a movie about it, you can't speculate. Okay.
Yeah. No, again,
Are we shocked that Warner Brothers brought in a spy from Israel to oversee that movie? No, we've been telling you that Hollywood has these guys on freaking speed dial.
Hollywood is rife with foreign spies for Israel. Who do you think owns Hollywood and owns our government? That would be Israel. Right. They own them.
Right. If the Mossad isn't on set, the CIA is. So.
Yeah.
So
Jesus.
You know.
Yeah. It's whatever. What's this? Sex Pistol? What's going on here?
Johnny. So former Sex Pistol Johnny London defends Israel and calls Hamas just Jew exterminators. Johnny Rotten. Are we shocked?
No, not so much. You brought a Fee Says?
Not so shocked. I did bring a Fee Says. Fee Says the United States and Ukraine have signed an agreement on mineral resources for which they could receive more than $350 billion. Looks like Ukraine fulfilled its use. Wasn't that the goal all along?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's always about the resources.
Seems like it was.
And I used to get in arguments with actually well-known people, and I was nobody, about Vietnam. Same thing. We didn't go to Vietnam to bring them freedom. We went there to take away their democracy. We went there to take away their natural resources because they were just minerals up the yin-yang and lumber and rubber and all that stuff. That's why we went to fucking Vietnam, and I'll argue with anybody all day long, and I know I'm right, and I don't have to argue with you. That's why we do all these wars, to take their shit. Look at what we're doing to the Congo. Are you kidding me, man? We've done it everywhere. We are the terrorist nation of the world, in my humble opinion, and it ain't so humble, and it's pretty strong. So that's just where we're at. True. Natalie Williams, you brought this from
Nat sent me this story. So curious to see if Facebook allows any of you to see this. And no, when you share it, you can't really see it, but she sent it to me in a personal message, and it says 100+ Meta employees, including the head of AI policy, confirmed to be ex-IDF. Woo, are we shocked?
No.
Are we shocked?
That's Natalie said that. She sent me a message the other day. It's face crack. It is face crack. It is face crack. And this is a mannequin with some of the new Meta glasses,
he's really
right?
pushing the new Facebook AI, right? I refuse to even log into that thing. But yeah, just listen to the Orwellian shit he says.
All right. Hey, everyone. We built a new thing for you. There's almost a billion people who are using Meta AI across our apps now. So we made a new standalone Meta AI app for you to check out. Meta AI is designed to be your personal AI. That means, first, it's designed around voice conversations. You open up the app and you can talk to it about whatever you want, from the news to an issue you're dealing with to just anything that you want to learn about. It's also designed to be personalized. We're starting that off really basic with just a little bit of context about your interests, but over time, you're going to be able to let Meta AI know a whole lot about you and the people you care about from across our apps if you want. We also designed this social feed, so you can discover all kinds of different ways that people are creating stuff with Meta AI. It's really quite fun to check out. And also, you're going to be able to use the app to manage your Meta glasses and other kinds of AI devices that we're going to be building in the future.
Meta glasses.
Anyway, this is the beginning of what is going to be a long journey to build this out. But go check it out. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know.
We want to know everything. We want to see everything. We want to read your mind. Oh, wait, we already do.
Oh, yeah. And is this to go with it? This another one? All right, let's see what he's got to say.
I think as the personalization loop kicks in and the AI just starts to get to know you better and better, I think that will just be really compelling. One thing just from working on social media for a long time is there's a stat that I always think is crazy. The average American, I think it's fewer than 3 friends.
You have no
they
friends.
Consider friends. And the average person has demand for meaningfully more. I think it's like 15 friends or something, right? I guess there's probably some point where you're like, all right, I'm just too busy. I can't deal with more people. But the average person wants more connectivity, connection than they have. So there's a lot of questions that people ask of stuff like, okay, is this going to replace kind of in-person connections or real-life connections? And my default is that the answer to that is probably no. I think I think there are all these things that are better about kind of physical connections when you can have them, but the reality is that people just don't have the connection and they feel more alone a lot of the time than they would like. So I think that a lot of these things that today there might be a little bit of a stigma around, I would guess that over time we will find the vocabulary as a society to be able to articulate why that is valuable and why the people who are doing these things are like why they are rational for doing it and how it is adding value for their
why
their
it's
lives.
rational
But
to have an
also, I think the
AI
field is very good.
girlfriend.
So I mean, it's I think there are a handful of companies and stuff who are doing virtual therapists and there's like virtual girlfriend type stuff, but it's very early.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Virtual girlfriend type stuff. That's what it's all about. But here's the thing. It doesn't know the difference of when it's talking to a freaking child or a kid or when it's talking to an adult. So it's just having, sexting sessions with fucking kids, and it's a problem.
It will figure it out sooner than you think, Chanda. I'm not going to subscribe at this point. We use Facebook for back channeling. That's all we use it for, and I don't want anything to do with any of his other shit. So,
nope, I'm not logging into any of that crap. Absolutely not.
This is we're getting into more of a culture section here. I think we've complained enough about everything else.
Right.
But I'm changing up my lifestyle quite a bit because of cancer and senior health issues that I'm encountering. One of the things that I wanted to share with a lot of our folks that are in the chat, ultra-processed foods that are driving premature deaths, here are the 4 common culprits. And I think you all know this already, but I just want to remind you. 4 ultra-processed foods to definitely avoid. Processed meat, sugary and artificial sweetened beverages, and dairy-based desserts, ice cream, and ultra-processed breakfast foods like sugary cereal. And I'm going to tell you something, too. Oatmeal is not your friend.
No.
Oatmeal is not your friend. I about 4 years ago, I thought, God, I'll just eat oatmeal every morning and I'll do that. First of all, you can't.
Wait, no way.
I don't even want to go with the glyphosate aspect of it. But steel cut, organic oatmeal maybe. But the only thing that you can really put in your oatmeal is butter or some kind of healthy fat. And you can't load it down with brown sugar. Best thing to do is to put, fresh berries, bananas, that shit in it. But that's just my PSA.
That's still sugar too.
Yeah.
Kate, that's crazy. He has an AI partner? That's making me feel uneasy about his mental health as well.
I don't have an AI partner. I've still got Joey.
No, we're talking about Lee Stranahan.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. It's kind of weird.
You brought this AI starter home?
Starter home now costs $1 million in half the states in the U.S., report reveals. And I know that is true where I live. It's shocking the dumps that are being sold up here for $600,000.
That house in Seattle would be $1 million. That house right there would be.
And they're just basic houses. A lot of them haven't even been renovated since they were built in the freaking 70s and freaking 60s. Like, what the hell?
They just wrote another tax bill in Washington State that's going to add $9 billion on our backs to pay for their bullshit that Bill Gates and the rest of them have suggested. And by the way, more cops pays for more cops.
Oh, because we need those. Fuck, I have a stater on my ass everywhere I go. But yeah, the average, like if you pay $3,000 in property taxes, it'll go up to $9,000. How is the average low class, middle class person supposed to weather that kind of freaking,
I had hope for Ferguson, but it's dwindling quickly.
My hope for Ferguson's completely gone. He has just turned into a fucking fascist, insane man. So a person is homeless. Do they make bad personal choices? House them. Yes. No. House them. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We need to house people. I mean, more and more homeless across the nation every freaking day. And with house prices like that, we're going to see more.
Yeah. No, you better get a hold of it. I think it's too late to get a hold of it, but it costs more to not house them, dipshit. We've got Macy's is shutting down 66 stores. All U.S. Forever 21 stores are closing, and we know why. And Walgreens, they're closing 1,200 stores. Burger King is filing for bankruptcy. So there you go. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There are a hell of a lot more.
Burger King, yucky.
Well, yeah, but those are jobs, and I look at it as jobs.
They are.
What to know, there are 130 companies letting employees go through just the month of May. Just the month of May. And you don't know, a lot of these are small companies, but...
Blue Shield? No way.
Blue Shield, okay, yeah. Like we need to have more health insurance companies sizing down and denying service. But Michael's, is it Michael's Cookies? Michael's Cookies. I don't know what a lot of these places are, but you guys can see it on the screen. Portland is closing more down. Portland's going out of business too, by the way. People are leaving in droves.
Have you seen the downtown? No fucking
wonder.
Yeah,
they're all. It looks like San Francisco, downtown Portland, or Philadelphia, is what it looks like. Let me see.
Department of Health and Human Services.
Oh, of course. Northland College. Lots of places. And I cut this list. FedEx is in trouble, by the way. But this list I cut. This is just a segment of that list. Young people who grew up thinking the scariest thing on earth was quicksand and the Bermuda Triangle are experiencing capitalism as adults. No shit. That's a great.
That looks like Lee Stranahan. Kate, you know.
This broke my heart, Chanda. I saw this today. I did not realize this. I went up those steps when I was going to high school.
Well, and we wonder why these places are going under. I mean, this is part of it. Amazon and this. Check this out.
Lloyd Center was on the way to. I went to Benson Polytechnic High School in 1974 through 77, but I went through Lloyd Center just about every morning.
I'm in the parking garage of the Lloyd Center Mall. These are the stairs you're required to walk up to get to the Barnes & Noble. So I want to show you the path that people have to take to get to the stores.
Oh,
lots
imagine
of
what it smells like.
Lots of gross stuff on the ground.
Oh yeah.
A lot of rotting food, feces. It's hard to describe the smell, but it's horrific. A lot of discarded clothes. One more story.
I'd be scared as hell to park in that parking garage.
Finally reached the top. Here we have Barnes & Noble. So you can imagine why people have stopped shopping at malls like this and others. It's because of this.
Well, not just because of that.
Nah. There's multiple different reasons. Prices,
Lloyd Center was the coolest thing when I was growing up. It was relatively new when I was born. But it was huge. They had Meyer and Frank. They had an ice skating rink. I think they still do in the middle of the place.
Oh, really?
Just all kinds of. It was beautiful. They had, it was one of those outside, inside sort of a mall thing, and they had wrought iron work. They had outside terrariums and gardens and everything else. And now it's a shithole. When I was there,
they're probably full of homeless now.
Oh yeah. When I was there, well, it's more like 7 years ago with my brother. I was heartbroken to see it.
Oh.
It was terrible, and seeing this just made it even worse. But
I do know what you mean, because it breaks my heart to see some of my old stomping grounds.
Yeah, it's terrible.
In decay and breaking down.
Good news for you and me, Chanda. Located 300 miles off the Oregon coast, more than 4,900 feet below the Pacific Ocean surface, Axel Seamount last erupted in 2015. This is a warning. This is more fear porn, but possible. This volcano could go off. As they say, it's ready to blow. And, with Spur going off and there's other volcanoes around the planet, I would not be shocked.
Well, that has a lot to do with the solar maximum and these, solar flares that we've been getting. But would that trigger the seduction zone that has been ready to go and prime for the last 300 years? Because that's
I don't
close
know.
to us, man.
But if that
That'll
did
destroy
trigger
us.
it, we've got a sample from a Norway village that Chanda and I will be doing this if the seduction goes. I'm not kidding. Chanda and I will be writing this if the seduction zone goes.
Oh, it's so scary because I'm so close to it. It's called liquid faxification.
That's from Norway. And yeah, that's how scary, because they used to talk about the San Andreas Fault being the biggest problem for the West. No, it's not that. It's the Cascadia seduction. So, and leave it to me, I'd move up and plant a house right on top of the fucker. I mean, it's like, hey, so anyway.
Yeah. I live 5 miles away from the Juan de Fuca fault line, and I'm 60 miles away from the seduction zone. So, I'm screwed, absolutely screwed. I've been to Olympia when they've done the emergency management meetings, and they've talked about this. And
There's
basically, they like 70% of our county will die.
There's no running from that. Just say goodbye. Say goodbye. You brought this. This is funny. I agree.
When you spent your years arguing that chemtrails don't modify the weather, and then the government announces that chemtrails do modify the weather, all I'm going to say is, told you so. Told you so. Been telling you so. 20 years.
Shandy, you ever been chased by a polar bear?
Dude, so would you choose the gun or the ride? Dude, he shoots at it. And the bear's like, oh no, you fucker did not just shoot at me. So the bear's chasing him. Look, he throws his gun and he jumps on the snowmobile. And then the bear's like, I can still catch you.
Good choice.
Yeah, I think at the moment that was a good choice to throw the gun, because he couldn't have kept the gun and got on the snowmobile and got out of there, I don't think.
Damn, that guy is brave.
The guy was brave? I don't know about that.
I don't know. He got shithouse lucky is what I'm thinking, because can't polar bears run like 70 miles an hour or some shit when they want to?
I don't know, but that one looks awful skinny and awful hungry. So
yeah, he does.
What are you gonna do?
That was Norway, by the way. Yeah, that I don't know. Choose the gun or take another shot or get on the snowmobile.
I would have got on the snowmobile before I even pulled the trigger, because
I know I wouldn't have shot at it.
I'm not into shooting any animals. If they can't shoot back, that's not even fair play for me. So
yeah, but I don't know, when a polar bear that's skinny is chasing you, you might think about it.
If you had no way of getting away from it. But I would have opted for the snowmobile. What's this? We got the plague going on again? Or
I don't know. You tell me what the hell the New York Post is doing reporting on such shit. But anyways, this man contracted a shocking skin disorder from wearing used clothing. Here's why. Well, I'm just going to say, if you buy used clothing, whether it be at a garage sale, thrift store, whatever, wash that shit before you put it on. It's that easy. I mean, come on. But why is the New York Post trying to get people to be scared of thrifting clothes? That's my question.
New York Post is just the New York
They're
Post.
such garbage. I know.
And you brought the mass to murder here?
Yeah. Well, Fauci crawled out from whatever rock he's been hiding under, and this is what he had to say.
He's in Italy.
Do not accept and shrug your shoulders at the normalization of untruths. Because we're living in an era now. There's so much distortion of reality, outright fabrication, lying, conspiracy theories, that it's so prevalent that people sort of shrug their shoulders and say, well, nothing to do about it, it's the new normal. No, do not accept that as the new normal, because whenever you have the acceptance of untruths and distortions, ultimately it's going to erode at the foundation of the social order and our democracy. And I think history has shown that. If anybody just looks back as recently as
at what you said
in the early 40s in Europe when that happened, be careful. Don't accept the normalization of untruths.
Right at the same time that Canadian government begins testing on the inhaled COVID mRNA Aerovax. So they're going to vaccine you, not even going to know it, because it's just going to be in the air.
Shit, they're already spraying us with God knows what. I just find that the habitual liar of our lifetime can get away with making those statements. That just blows my shit away.
His nose just grows and grows.
Oh my God, what is that guy even doing? You brought this.
Pfizer just bought Arena Pharmaceuticals, making the drug to treat heart inflammation such as myocarditis and what is that? Pericarditis? Yeah. Wonder why that is.
I'm going to skip
Mexico?
61. I'm going to skip this.
What is 61? Oh, you brought that. Okay.
Yeah, it was a belly fat thing.
Belly fat.
This blew me away. I can't believe somebody did this, but I can believe it.
I see this all the frickin' time. Are you kidding?
Yeah. Why? How the hell do these people get driver's licenses?
Dude, the average age of the driver where I live is like 75.
But at 75, you would think that if you miss the bypass, you'd just go and do the other one. So I
think they'd stop parking in our post office too, but they still keep doing that.
Well, I think this guy really, his brain person, whatever, was on tilt because they were looking at the other traffic going the other way, and they didn't want to have to go all the way up and come back down. So this is
laziness is what it is. Yeah, you're right.
This is exactly what you don't do. Stop in the middle of traffic and then try and pull off into the lane and then cause a major accident. And then once you've done that, make sure you pull over into that lane and go on your way.
And then drive down the grass. Yeah.
And then just go on your way. That's kind of shitty. I hope they caught that.
Well, legally, I don't think, I mean, yeah, they're responsible, but it's your job not to follow too closely. So, and to be aware of how fast the traffic in front of you is moving. So these cars that rear-ended other cars should actually be the ones that are liable, I think.
No, that it was an instigated accident right there. That was a dumbass.
I would say that, but would a cop say that? I don't know. I'm glad you grabbed this because I saw this the other day and then I didn't grab it. But so
yeah, this is where your trillions of dollars get to go. We get to have flying Marines, like out of a movie. Here you go. Right. There you go.
We got hover packs. Oh, you got Iron Man in the background. You better pause or mute it. There you go. Yeah, mute it so we don't take a hit. Look at that. Yeah, they got hover packs now. They can just fly around.
Oh, how cool is that? Makes me want to enlist. Not.
I kind of want one. I mean, yeah. I want a personal hover pack.
I want one. I want one that'll last for about an hour when the Cascadia Fault goes.
Right. Outrun the tsunami that's coming for our asses.
That's the only way you're going to get away from it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm telling you. But for those of us who like to kind of sit down and fly around.
Yeah, we don't want to stand and fly. Let's sit and fly. This reminds me of Star Wars. And, you know, tomorrow is May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, May the 4th be with you. And, yeah, this reminds me of those speeders that they used on that forest planet. Check this shit out. This is...
Yeah.
Ever dreamed of flying solo without wings or a runway? This fully electric hover bike takes off vertically and hovers effortlessly above the ground, offering a futuristic mode of personal air travel. Designed for one rider, it uses compact propulsion, likely ducted fans or turbines, to generate real lift, as seen in recent test footage. Named the Volonaut Air Bike, it's still in the prototype stage, but it's already turning heads with its sleek, sci-fi-inspired design. Created by Tomasz Patan, co-founder of Jetson, the air bike is part of a growing push toward practical, wingless aerial mobility for everyday users. Would you take to the skies on a ride like this?
Yeah.
I would.
I want one.
Would. I want to try that fucker out.
Yeah, what do you think the tariff is now from China?
Yeah, what is the tariff on that? China already has flying cars, Jody says. Yeah, I think they do, yeah. Meet George Jetson.
What's this? Is this misplaced in the deck? Or?
This was shocking. No, it's not misplaced in the dock. So this is RFK Jr. talking about the pedo trafficking rings that they've put a stop to at HHS.
Good.
We have ended HHS as the role as the vector, the principal vector in this country for child trafficking
What the hell?
During the Biden administration, HHS became a collaborator in child trafficking and for sex and for slavery. And we have ended that, and we're very aggressive.
I was shocked when I saw this.
To find these children, 300,000 children that were lost by the Biden administration.
How's HHS involved in that under Biden?
Well, we've been calling it for many years. If you followed any of the Franklin case, the notorious case out of the Midwest in the 80s, of course, they implemented a lot of Republicans back in the day. But we have been saying HHS is the biggest proprietor and trafficker. I mean, Pizzagate.
That blows me away.
So,
why isn't that a bigger story? I didn't see that.
well, it was buried. I was shocked when I came across that. I was like, he actually freaking said that. I mean, foster kids, the grooming of foster kids. Yeah, it's shocking. And I'm glad that he's aware of it, that he's doing something about it, because so many of us have been screaming about it for years. And yeah, it was buried in the news cycle. Nobody wanted anybody to see that clip.
What do the Russians know that we don't know?
Where we go when we die.
Okay, let's see.
I think you'll like this.
Scientists in Russia have confirmed that they now know what happens to you after you die. I'm not talking about your body, that's just fucking worm food, we all know that. I mean,
worm food.
Your spirit, if you like, your consciousness. I read it on the Russian version of Google last night called Yandex. I don't know why this is not all over fucking media right now. I've not slept a wink. So, if you don't know, Russia's largest tech company, Vladtech, have spent the last 10 years creating an interface to your brain that somehow embeds a code into every atom of you. So when you die, they can then locate that code within you, and it's like an Apple AirTag, but on a more expensive, grander level. So they can basically see where your electricity, spirit, and memories go to. And they call it a SIC code, soul identity code or something like that. And what they discovered was fucking mind-blowing. So the first volunteer who passed away, they followed his code, but lost it because it was travelling faster than anything they can record. An hour later, when the computers caught up and refreshed, if you like, the SIC code settled in another galaxy called, I've written it down somewhere, Jade's GS-Z140, which is over 1 billion light years away. It's one of the furthest galaxies that we know of. This is life-changing for us all as human beings. I cannot believe no one's talking about this. And apparently the scientists don't know why it stopped there. Do we all go there? You know, what's it doing there? I'm speechless.
I'm excited. We get to go to another galaxy. Hell yeah.
God, it sounds like Slaughterhouse-5, Kurt Vonnegut.
Isn't that crazy? They assign your energy, your soul energy, a code, and they can track it through the universe, the galaxies. Like, that's mind-blowing.
Like I said, nothing surprises me.
You're not
anymore.
ready, Chili. Chili's not ready to go visit another galaxy.
You don't want to go to Tralfamadore? You can go to Tralfamadore.
Yeah.
I'll go to Tralfamadore. Can I take? Anyway.
I just don't want to go where the Anunnaki are. They're kind of mean.
So you brought this, and I saw that to this week. Tell everybody what this is, Chanda.
So this is Float-A-Poo, a new doggy poo disposal system that fills dog poo bags with helium to float them away forever.
I don't think that's going to work out well, do you?
Until it lands in somebody else's backyard. I don't know.
Is this really a thing, or this has got to be a joke, right?
Was this real? Was the last one real? I don't know what's real in this world anymore.
I don't know. We're living in the Matrix. I swear to God, this is something else. But this is real. This one right here is real. Because
you mind too.
if I
storm.
How would you react just like this Jack Russell if somebody did this to you, Chanda?
Smart dog.
Yeah, my dogs wouldn't react like that, but they'd be crushed. I would never do that because they eat better than we do, as far as I'm concerned. What do you got? You got this? Is this?
Me trying to explain to normies why they feel like shit and are sick all the time. And it says, chemtrails, man, they'll fuck you up. Chemtrails will fuck you up. So I was out at the ballpark with my granddaughter this week, and it was piss down pouring. It's right next to the airport. And my shoes got wet, and they're like a runner. The pair I had on are like a runner with the like the mesh almost on them, and they're gray. So this morning, I put my shoes on. I haven't worn them since then. And there was this weird line where it was almost like chemtrails or salt or something had built up on my damn shoes from the freaking rain. I'm going to have to wash them. But I was like, oh, God, what chemicals is that shit on my shoes?
Calcium carbonate, maybe? I don't know.
It probably would be my guess. Yeah, right. That's one of the things they rain down on us, isn't it?
Hey, check out my bow tie. I am in the Matrix. Look at that.
I like your bow tie.
It's glitching. It's glitching. It says beauty in there. Look at that, everybody.
Yeah, it does.
It's my chroma key. It's all messed up because my lighting's different tonight. I'm sorry, guys. It's a little annoying. I'll fix it next time.
I know Florida banned them. Jilly says Florida banned all of them. All states should. Yes, shout out to Florida for fucking banning chemtrails. Thank you for believing that they're real, for one. Stop calling them geoengineering or stratospheric injections. They're fucking poison that they've been raining down on us to block the sun for the last 20 years. It's been going on for 20 years, at least, that we know about. I mean, it's probably been going on for a lot longer.
I thought sunshine was healthy for you.
It is. That's why more people need to be taking vitamin D. You guys should be taking at least 10,000 IBUs of vitamin D. I take 10,000.
Be careful taking that. Make sure you get the best kind you can that's certified.
I do. I buy the best kind I can, and it sucks because it's expensive. To buy the good stuff, it's expensive.
It is. It is.
But I've cut back since I've been outside a lot lately. I'm only taking, I think, 5,000.
I take a balance because I take so many different supplements. And did you know that vitamin C isn't something that cancer people should be taking?
Yes, I did, because it protects the cancer cell. I learned that about 6 months ago when I upped my vitamin C thinking it would help me, and the Bath Star Clinic said, no, don't do that, because it doesn't know the difference between a good cell and a bad cell, and it's going to protect the cancer cells.
Yeah, the only way I get vitamin C anymore is, primarily through citrus, and I've cut that way down too. We are at Hollywood Go F Yourself, and you brought this.
Yeah, I do D3. I do D3 with MK7, I want to say.
MK Ultra or MK7?
Yeah, MK Ultra 7. Hollywood Go Fuck Yourselves. Green Day now has their own Slurpee at 7-Eleven. Yeah, these Zionist little ass lickers got their own star on the Walk of Fame this week.
You gotta be kidding me.
Green Day used to be rebel outlaws, for the 90s. These were our, Rage Against the Machine type of bands, and now they're just Zionists, in for the money, playing Coachella for the best price.
I'm loving this bow tie. Look at me. I'm playing with my bow tie.
I know, it's really cool. Sometimes I like wearing my green because then I wear whatever's in the background.
It's black. I just have shitty lighting, and the red makes the black turn green, so...
It's like having a digital tie on.
I confess, I did Stoner Corner again. One of these days, I'm going to let you do it again. So here we go, Stoner Corner, and that's two shall puff pass, puff pass. And let me see. I identify as a potato because I like to be baked and smashed. Negative effects of smoking weed. You have less weed. That's a big one. Archaeologists unearthed mysterious metal artifact in Oregon, may date back to the late 1970s. That's my pipe. That's from Portland. And weed is not a fucking drug, by the way.
No, it's a plant. It's a plant.
Hello. And it's time for Me Mally, and stick around. We got a pretty nice outro tonight. We got a little bit of David Lee Roth and Dave Mason. And I got to tell you, Chanda, that Dave Mason outro came out beautiful. So,
you're welcome.
Yeah,
I had it on my show last week, lined up and ready to go, and Oz was like, "Oh, I had that picked out too."
Yeah,
so I gave it back.
I want my Mason back.
Okay, fine, you can have it.
Yeah, thank you, Chanda. I appreciate it. You're so kind to me. You brought this one, Chanda.
Oh my gosh, this is me this afternoon. The morning after I tried to do all the yard work in a single day. Give me something for the pain and let me die. Come on, you guys can relate when you go out, mow, weed eat, freaking pull weeds. You can't move for 2 days.
I can relate to that. And
Oh
I
my
put the Rod Serling up there. Imagine, if you will, a group of people so disgusting they have to make laws making it illegal to hate them. Oh, does that sound familiar?
Oh, I wonder who we're talking about. Oh my God.
We're talking about. That's one of those ones where we're satire until we mean it. And you brought this one.
I did. I've seen this. Okay, so when I was in Utah in probably the late 90s, I was out on my dad's boat on Strawberry Lake. There's a beautiful lake in Utah. And I was up on the top deck of the boat, and this actually flew right over my head. It was amazing to see in person. So this plane is carrying a motherfucking spaceship. Why the fuck do I have a 50-pound limit on my suitcase?
That's ironic.
Do I have to pay? Be the question.
Well, they're charging you for those now anyway, so you know. You
Yeah.
just
I don't. Do we even have space shuttles anymore? Tell me.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
They've got giant ships shaped like dildos flying up in the air.
Yeah, they do. A big freaking.
It's kind of a step down, I think, from the space shuttle, but
it definitely is.
Anyway, I brought this one up in the corner. Good morning. Now put it on your now put it in your mouth. I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to put it on my bathroom mirror so people can get a little laugh when they come and use my restroom.
That's funny.
That is funny. It is kind of funny. And you brought the Margaritaville one here.
Well, I wouldn't waste away in Margaritaville. I would thrive, and absolutely would thrive. I went and saw Jimmy Buffett at Jazz Fest back in the 90s. Shout out to Jazz Fest, which happened, I want to say, last weekend in New Orleans. It's always amazing to go. But it was a big thing because Jimmy Buffett played it every year, and, you know, everybody would go, all the, whatever they call them, Buffett heads or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, Jimmy was a little possessive with his music, like Don Henley. That's why I can't bring any Jimmy Buffett. So,
oh yeah, you got that shit on lockdown.
Yeah, it's all on lockdown, dude. You can't sit there all day, but I'm telling you, it's not a zip line. And you see the little bird in the shoe. I thought that was
cute. That's cute.
That was cute. That was cute.
That means there's a drug dealer in the neighborhood. That's what that means.
Right. That's what that means. Exactly what that means. And you brought this one back. I love this. This is great.
Let's see. Microsoft is bringing back the Office assistants. Google Operation Paperclip for more information. Definitely go Google Operation Paperclip. If you don't know, you will know.
And these, I really like these. I'm glad we split this up because this used to be all me Mally, but we're getting so way back from machines that we did remember when. Before we work on artificial intelligence, why don't we do something about natural stupidity? And I agree with Bugs on that. How about you, Chanda?
Yeah, Bugs has got it right.
And then we've got Colossus, the Foreman Project. That was a scary computer.
I never saw that.
That was, you should watch that because...
What's the plot?
It's about a computer taking over the world. It's, you know...
Oh, nice.
It's Star Trek.
My favorite.
Yeah, and watch out with AI. We might have a Colossus on our hands that we can't deal with. Gen Z thinks they're so edgy. Meanwhile, my generation watched BDS&M on Saturday mornings.
We did.
We
that
did.
Shit was brutal.
Yeah, and if you watch Starsky and Hutch, you'll appreciate that Starsky settled down.
The wagon.
Yeah, there you go with the whack and I really want one of these. I want one of these tissue containers because that was the cube from Hellraiser, and I thought that was
unlock Pinhead, right?
Yeah, unlock Pinhead. That was
those movies are so cheesy now. Like last Halloween, I think I went and rewatched them on AMC, and I was like, "Holy shit, this stuff scared me back in the '80s." It's so cheesy now.
But they were still good. They're still good.
They were good. They were good. But you know what movie scared me the most in the '80s out of all of these was what was it? Phantasm? Is that what it was called? The one with the little flying
steel ball
balls in it. Yeah. Whatever in the that one scared the shit out of me. I'm still scared to watch that one.
Scanners. That's the first time I saw Michael Ironside was Scanners, and he ended up drilling a hole in his head with a drill gun. That was.
I think I remember that. That's kind of scary.
But Phantasm was really really scary.
It was.
At this point, I'm willing to pay more money for appliances with zero smart features, just physical knobs and buttons and controls for everything. Yeah, 5 years ago, we had to buy a washer and dryer, and we went and bought a Speed Queen, and it had just buttons and knobs on it, and very few. And we still have it today.
That's what I'm looking for. My washer's on the brink, and we had this exact washer growing up. I don't want to go buy some push button piece of shit that I'm going to have to call the Maytag guy in, if he even still exists, to fix when it breaks down in 6 months. I'm looking through the used because I want something that's going to last, that we can fix, that I can watch a YouTube video on how to fix it.
And you know what? You can fix those old ones. And say what you want. Say what you want about Frigidaire and Whirlpool and stuff. You can still fix those fuckers. You can still fix them.
I fixed my dryer. I watched a YouTube video and fixed my dryer.
I don't know if you ever ran into this, but I did a couple of times, and it grossed me out back in the day.
Nastiest.
If you use one of these back in the day, chances you're immune to everything, and you ain't kidding. Because I just can't even imagine using.
They always had them in mechanic shops. What the hell? The guys with the dirtiest fucking hands had these. Why? Why? Because they were cheap laundry.
It's the bars that bothered me the most that had these. The bars.
Well, it's better than those fucking hand dryers. I hate those stupid hand dryers. I mean, the Dyson ones are okay. The ones that you stick your hands in and then they're like a straight line. But the frickin' rub your hand together. I hate those. I fucking hate those. I'd rather wipe my hands on my pants than use those.
I'm worried about becoming part of a horror movie and then turning into a blender. Anyway, the best
Don't be a blender.
The best way to stop the next pandemic is to arrest the people who started the first one. I agree. And this is from my old stomping grounds. I brought this to show people how much cars cost brand new in 1974. Impala Sport Coupe, $34.95. And a Malibu, $26.95. And let me see.
Malibu.
Yeah, 4x4, $38.50. A half ton. I don't know what the hell that is. That's a 74, $30,000. What the hell? $46.50? No, $3,000.
No, that's $3,000.
I know. I'm just being stupid. 3/4 ton. Look at that. Isn't that nuts? Inflation. Now they're like $100,000.
Oh, you can get a Gremlin. Get a Gremlin. 31.
A Gremlin. 30. Let me go back.
Yeah.
A Gremlin.
Get a Gremlin. It's only about $3,200 for a Gremlin. I would take a Gremlin, but
you made, since we looked at the Gremlin, the Monte Carlo. That was.
I grew up with Monte Carlos. That's what my family's cars always were.
What was that Monte Carlo? Was that the one with the plastic carburetor? I can't remember.
It had the long nose. The 74 would have been the long nose.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of the Chrysler Cordoba. That was the one that Ricardo Montalban Cordoba.
Oh,
but it had a plastic carburetor, and you couldn't get a factory carburetor. So after the carburetor wore out, they were junk. You couldn't even adapt.
Yeah, put a little carb cleaner in there, and it would melt the whole damn thing.
Melt the whole damn thing. It would just fall the hell apart.
So I saw a 74 burnt orange Nova yesterday. Like, oh my God, it was beautiful. Like, totally rebuilt. My cousin rebuilds them, and I love watching them because he posts the progress. He sandblasts them and fixes them, the interior. They're beautiful.
I got a wild hair when I still couldn't afford it way back when. I bought a boat tail, a 72 Riviera. It has that teardrop back window.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buick. It was beautiful, but I couldn't afford it. When you start buying collector's cars, you might as well just shoot yourself because they're a money pit. They're a money pit.
They are a money pit, yeah.
By the way, Chanda, shame on you for bringing this one. You are a bad girl. Bad girl.
Raw cream pies are back at McDonald's.
What the fuck, Chanda? We're supposed to be PG.
I didn't put it on there.
I didn't put it on there. I didn't.
What the hell's a raw cream pie? I've heard of cream pies, but a raw cream pie?
Oh my God!
Cook that shit, man. Cook that shit.
When you have the best lidocaine collection in town, now explain this to me, will you?
Do you know what lidocaine is?
Yeah, I know.
Like a lidocaine patch.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, they're kissing up to him because they want his drugs. They want his lidocaine.
Oh my God in heaven! What can I say? Just terrible. Now, This is our last slide tonight.
Yep, we're almost out of here.
I wanted to finish with a whimper, but it's more of a whimper from crying because they can't come out with entertaining movies anymore. Most of them are shit.
Yeah.
But 1980, The Empire Strikes Back, 9 to 5. Remember 9 to 5? That was Lily Tomlin and Fonda. Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor and Gene
Hackman.
No, not Gene Hackman.
Not Gene Hackman. Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, yeah. Raiders of the Lost Ark, 007, For Your Eyes Only. That was a fun movie. Superman 2, it was okay. E.T. in 82. Rocky 3, Tootsie, fun movie. Return of the Jedi, Flashdance, Octopussy, another James Bond movie. Indiana Jones, Beverly Hills Cop, lots of laugh. Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Rambo, Rocky 4, Top Gun, Crocodile Dundee, rest in peace, Paul Hogan. Aliens, Fatal Attraction, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Dirty Dancing, Rain Man, Roger Rabbit. Coming to America, another funny one. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Batman, Michael Keaton back in the day. And Back to the Future too. Can you believe that? Can you believe they can't come out with, they can't write movies anymore. They're terrible.
Because the CIA writes all of them. Come on.
It's all crap. I don't get it.
Israel.
What's out there that's any good now that you've heard of? Is there anything any good out there?
The new Marvel. The new Marvel is supposed to be good.
Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts, yeah.
Thunderbolts? But that's all the B superheroes, the B class superheroes.
Right. Yeah, it's the B class of superheroes.
Oh well. Okay. Well, maybe there's hope. I've kind of given up on superhero movies, but anyway, that's our show for this week. Good news and bad news. We had the good news at the top of the hour, and we got a little good news now. We are planning on doing a dive next week, but you are not going to do a show on Monday. And we can't do a show next Saturday. Oz needs a physical and emotional break, and Shanda's got too much stuff going on.
I got company coming to town. It's the 130th Irrigation Festival. You guys know I live in a desert that they irrigated, so I'm going to go out and see the parade. And I've got a cousin that I haven't seen in many years coming to town, so that's what I'm going to do next Saturday. And this is infusion week, so I have immunotherapy this week. So you guys know I'm always down and out and in the dumps the same weeks that I do immunotherapy. So yeah, we're going to do a dive on Wednesday though. So I'll have my port. I got to go get my port put in on, well, I already have my port, but I got to go get it accessed on Wednesday. So for the dive, I'll be all taped up and accessed, but then Thursday I'll go get my infusion, get sick again for the next week.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What are you over there taking pictures of yourself? I see flashes. No,
I'm just checking. I just wanted to make sure I got everybody. I got Jack's page on her coffee donation. And thanks again to everybody donating on coffee. And Shanda's GoFundMe, it is in the rundown for her cancer stuff.
If you want to help me out, I appreciate it.
And we will, like I said, we will be, hopefully, unless something changes, we plan on doing a dive. But no Trailer Park Pundit, and we've got to take next weekend off. So sorry for you guys. I wish we love seeing. I'm
staying strong, guys.
Yeah, we had the great news tonight, and so I can, we can take next week off and feel good about stuff. And is there anything else we need to let anybody know about before we get out of here?
No, I just want to tell you guys I am staying strong. I thank you guys so much for the donations on the GoFundMe. You guys have helped me get meds, and obviously something's holding this stuff at bay, and I'm not going to chalk it up to immunotherapy. I'm chalking it up to the protocol that I'm taking, which is the Ivor and the Fenbin. So thank you guys so much. You're saving my life with the donations that you're giving me, because I'm taking it religiously, faithfully. I think it made me sick for like the first week that I started taking those stronger ones, but now I'm doing better.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And so I'm so excited for summer. I'm doing a huge garden. I'm going to bring back trailer park gardening. I'll give you guys a look at the garden and do like we have done for the last couple of years. Well, I put up a video every couple of weeks showing you the growth, and I've got so much stuff I'm growing this year. I don't know how many more gardens I have in me, so I'm going big this year.
I know that your hair's looking good. It's growing back nice, Chanda.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's growing
I'm
faster.
dealing with it.
It's growing back faster than mine. All right, everybody. Thank you. And thank you, Jody. We appreciate that.
Thank you guys so much for
we
joining
know
us.
you all understand. And thanks again. Love you guys so much. Thanks again for all your support. We're out of here. I hope you enjoyed this outro. It came out really good, I think. I hope you enjoy it.
You did a good job.
And we'll see you in Wednesday, hopefully. And then in
See you
2
Wednesday,
weeks.
hopefully, yeah.
Yep. Later, guys.
Good night.
Rockin' steady in her daddy's car. Have you changed your style, and do you think that we've grown up differently? It don't seem the same. Seems you've lost your feel for me. So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Ooh, oh. I'm going back to a place that's far away. How about you? Have you got a place to stay? Why should I care when I'm just trying